I assume if you're watching this video, you're here to find out how we at Maze Presbyterian are going to go back to church after lockdown. We are so excited to join together in person to worship in our building once more. Things are going to be a little bit different than before, so this is just a short video to explain the changes and any information you might want to know before coming to our services so that you feel safe and free to do so. There is no pressure for you to come to the services if you feel it is safer for you to stay at home, because they will still be live streamed online. Sunday the 19th is going to be our first live stream service from the church, which is super exciting because we haven't been able to do that in a really long time. That means there will be a minister and a band, and they will actually be doing the things on screen in real life while you're watching from your home. There won't be a congregation on that week, so please don't come. The doors will be locked, you won't be able to get in, so it'll be a pointless journey, so just stay at home. So as long as the guidelines stay as they are now, on the 26th of July we are going to have a service for vulnerable people in the church. So that means if you are vulnerable or a shielder or somebody who hasn't felt they can really leave the house over lockdown because they wouldn't be safe because of health issues or other things, you can come to that service and actually sit in the building and take part. Nobody will have been in the building on the seats before that. It will be the first congregation to be in this building, so it'll be nice and clean, and we will do lots of things to make sure that you feel safe. If you aren't a vulnerable person or you aren't a shielder, please respect that this service is just for people who might not be able to leave the house very often, and gives them a chance to see other people in real life and not over a screen, because there'll be a service for you the next week. As long as current guidelines stay as they are, on Saturday the 2nd of August we are going to have our first service in this building with a congregation. Please don't feel pressured to come. You can still watch the service online, it will be live streamed, but if you have missed fellowship with other people and worshipping in a church building and enjoying God together, then you can come and sit in this building. There are a couple of things that will be different about that. It won't be like our normal Sunday service, but we're going to go through those later in the video so you can feel safe while worshipping God and we can all meet together again. That's what I have for that. Woo!
When you arrive at church, we ask that you have your conversations outside to avoid queues at the door. However, if you do end up queuing, please maintain a 2-metre distance. As well, if it's wet and rainy that day, we advise that you bring a coat or an umbrella just in case you end up queuing outside. Before you come to church as well, we ask that you print out a contact tracing card, and these can be downloaded from the website. If you fill that in before you come, it allows us to implement contact tracing. As you walk into the building, there's a little basket to put this in. This will be kept and stored for 3 weeks and then destroyed after that. Once you have put your contact tracing card in the basket, sanitize your hands if you haven't already had a chance to in your car, and you'll be greeted by an usher who will direct you to the door. And little stickers are on the floor to help you maintain the 2-metre distance. When you come into the church, you'll be directed by an usher to a seat, and we ask that you respect the usher by going immediately to that seat and staying in it. Please sit in your households, and there will be 4 seats between every household. We ask that everyone in the household stay seated, so if you've got little children, please make sure that they stay in the seats just to keep everyone safe.
In order to be accessible, we have decided to create overflow areas in the welcome area and the hall. This means that we will fill the church from the front to the back, and once our capacity has been reached in here, you'll be directed to sit either in the welcome area or in the hall, depending on numbers. Please try and arrive in a timely manner to avoid queues and clusters of people forming. This will mean that everybody gets a seat and the service can start on time. Our live services are going to have live music at them. At the start of the service, the band may play some songs and sing at you, but please don't sing back at them at that time, just to make sure that everybody feels safe and like they can come to church. At the end of the service, you will have the option to leave before some worship begins. During that time, the congregation are free to sing along to the music. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, as I said before, you can leave, and that there will be space and time to do so. We have rearranged our seats so that the singers and the minister are 4 metres away from the front row of seats in the church. That means that if you're sitting there, you're not in the splash zone, you're not going to get hit, and you are safe.
When the service is over, an usher will direct you to an exit where there will be an offering basket for you to leave your envelopes if you wish to do so. And again, please don't have your conversations standing at the door, as this will result in queues. Have your conversations outside, but please be aware there will be moving vehicles, so just be careful.
I assume if you're watching this video, you are big enough to go to the toilet all by yourself. but because of coronavirus, using toilets in church is going to be a little bit different for a while. We would ask that you go to the bathroom before you come to church to minimise the amount of people who want to use it, and our services are going to be a reduced amount of time, so hopefully that will help. But if you do need to go, you can still use the toilet. In the toilets there will be cleaning equipment, there will be gloves. We ask that you wipe the toilet before and after use just to keep everything nice and clean for the next person coming along and to make everybody feel that little bit more safe. There are instructions behind the toilet and on the door of how to clean, and if products are running low, just inform an usher and they will get some more. There are instructions of how to properly wash your hands, which I'm sure you all know by now, but just in case you've forgotten during the day. Please accompany your children to the toilet if they need to go, because there are cleaning products out and we don't want any accidents to happen, and also to ensure that it is wiped down properly and everything is clean for the next person. To avoid crossover with overflow areas, the disabled toilets in the welcome area are the only toilets available at this time. If you've never been to our church before and you don't know where they are, an usher will be able to point you in the right direction.
Unfortunately, we are unable to offer creche and children's church services at this time. However, there will be a short children's address during the service. The kids will be asked to stay seated in the households that they're in rather than go up to the front as normal. And there will be a worksheet available to download from the website, which you'll have to print before you come, and also bring any colouring pens, pencils that you might want to use.
You may notice that something is missing from our food bank area, and it is our trolley. We ask that during this time you don't bring your food bank donations directly to us, but you bring them either directly to the food bank itself or to Sainsbury's or Tesco's to donate whatever you have bought. You can also look on their website and their Facebook page to see what items they are in need of or where else you can donate, because there are lots of different stations. Certain areas of our church are going to be closed, like the prayer room for example. This is just to keep everybody safe and reduce the risk in the building. If you want to pray before you come to church, you can do so in your car, in your house, in the car park. We don't really mind, just not in our prayer room.
Given that we will be inside during the service, face coverings are strongly recommended in line with guidance from the Northern Ireland Executive.
As pew Bibles won't be available, you are encouraged to bring your own to church. And finally, some last bits of information. If you missed it earlier, our services are only going to be 45 minutes long to reduce the amount of time that you have to be in the building, and all of the doors will already be open and will stay open for the duration of the service to increase ventilation and minimise what you have to touch, so you can come in, sit down and leave again without touching anything if you don't want to. I urge everyone to bring their own hand sanitizer and sanitize in the car before they come in and again after they leave, but of course there is hand sanitizer available if you forget. Also, a big thank you to the COVID committee for making sure that everyone is going to be as safe as they possibly can be whilst getting us back to church as soon as possible.
Like we've said, we're so excited to welcome everyone back, but please don't feel any pressure to rush back if you don't feel safe. So we'll see you on the 26th of July if you're a vulnerable person, or on the 2nd of August for everyone else. Bye!